Welcome to Starving Artist, everyone. Well, today we'll be making a pork tonkotsu out of this instant ramen, some of these here pork chops that we found, and some frozen mixed vegetables. Stay tuned. Alright, so these are our ingredients here. Pretty simple, basic stuff you'll probably find in your everyday fridge. These are some extra things that you can use. I recommend the milk for sure, but all the other things are kind of simple. The ground ginger is pretty much needed. You can use some of the ground cumin and mustard instead of this umami mushroom seasoning, and some sesame oil if you want or not. So instead of the umami, cumin, and some mustard work, you can use about a teaspoon of each. Feel free to substitute it. This everything bagel seasoning is just to garnish at the end. You really don't need it. Like I said, the ground ginger is 100% recommended. Teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon garlic powder, teaspoon black pepper, 2 teaspoons of the umami blend, or 1 and 1 of the cumin and mustard, 1 teaspoon cayenne, half teaspoon ground ginger. It's very strong, be careful. 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. I also added a half a teaspoon of sesame oil on the side, didn't record it. Get it all nice and mixed and get a nice rub for our pork. Alright, let's transfer our pork to a bowl and get ready for our mix. I'm only using half of this. Stay tuned for episode 2 to see what I do with the rest of it. Alright, let's grab our rub and get ready. We're going to give this a good old rubbing, and then when we're done, we're going to let it stand for about 5 minutes, let all the seasoning soak in and get nice and marinated. You can jump ahead a bit here if you want to pass all this. Alright, looks good. Let's go ahead and get this ready to sear. You can put your leftovers and stuff away in this time while you're waiting. These are going to be our broth ingredients. The umami blend is good. You don't need it. Like I said, if you take the everything blend and the umami out, it's totally cool. You can also take out the sesame oil. You'll be fine with just these 3 ingredients here. Alright, let's turn our pan on high. You want to make sure you get it nice and hot so that you can get it a good sear. We're going to add about a tablespoon of oil in our pan and wait for this to heat up. Go ahead and spread it around. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and transfer our pork to the pan. Nice and bubbly. Go ahead and give it a little bit of shake, loosen it up so it doesn't stick, and then we're gonna flip it so it's nice and when it's nice and golden brown. Looks delicious. It smells so good too. We're gonna do this on each side until all sides pretty much look like that. It's about 2 minutes per side. Shake it. Make sure we get the sides and the edges. Keep all the juices inside when we decide to let it simmer on the low. Alright, when you got all your sides cooked, go ahead and turn it on low and let each side sit for another 3 minutes. Also help it cook in the middle without burning it. So while we let this sit, we're going to go ahead and put some water here, raise it to a boil, and then add our noodles. You don't want to cook these noodles for too long. Usually I only do it for about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and record the whole process here so you can see how short it is. You can go ahead and skip a little bit ahead if you want to skip the noodle cooking process. Very easy. When they're done, go ahead and just strain the noodles and put them in a bowl. seasonings are pretty much done, so we're going to go ahead and strain them and put them in a bowl now. Alright, we got our noodles here, so we're going to go ahead now and remove our pork from the pan. It won't be done all the way, that's okay. We've got all this delicious flavor left over, we're going to go ahead and use that right now. Alright, let's add 2 cups of water to this here leftover seasonings. Half a cup of the mixed vegetables. Strain them first. You can add 2 teaspoons of the umami blend if you want, you don't have to. 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce for seasoning. It already has a lot of salt, you don't need that much. You can add a little bit more if you want, but it's up to you. We're going to take one of these ramen packet seasonings, mix it in there as well. That's going to be our base. Mix it up, get the seasonings off the tongs. Get all the flavoring out of it. Alright, so here we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of milk. You don't need that much, it's really just for color, a little bit of flavor. We're also going to add about a tablespoon of peanut butter. You'll want to add this when the broth is already warmed up, don't put it cold or else it's really hard to mix in. And about a tablespoon of any kind of chili paste or hot sauce, this is up to you if you want or not, you don't have to. So you want to use a whisk for this next part to help smooth the peanut butter into the broth. Otherwise it's kind of hard using a fork or anything else, you're going to get really scrapey. So a whisk is the best option, but if you only have a spoon, that works too. Wood spoon would be the best. A little bit of extra effort, but it's totally worth it to get this nice and tasty. Go ahead and chop our pork up into bite-sized pieces here. It's not completely done, but that's okay because we want this to cook inside the broth a bit. Go ahead and get all those juices in there. Make sure you get all the extra little pieces, all the seasonings, or we can't be friends. Alright, we're just going to give that a stir, let the pork rise to the right temperature. In a bit we're going to put a lid and just let it kind of simmer for about 5 minutes. I also added some sesame oil here, about a teaspoon just for flavoring. You don't have to, but it does taste really good. Alright, give it a nice mix in, and then this is pretty much done after this. Pork is nice and tender, and the vegetables are all cooked. Pretty simple recipe, something you can whip up in like 10 minutes if you really tried. Yeah, that's it. Congrats. You made it. We made it to the end. Alright, let's plate this and eat it. I'm starving. Oh, it smells so good. This everything seasoning is just a garnish. It was pretty good. You don't really need it though. And then add your weapon of choice. I chose chopsticks. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Like and subscribe for more.